She was hailed as the uncontested queen of Flushing Meadows, a champion whose dominance seemed unbreakable. And yet, in a single breathtaking twist, that regal throne was shattered with a flurry of powerful forehands and an unyielding spirit. Yes, reigning United States Open women's champion Iga Swiatek faced the unthinkable, a sudden halt to her title defense that reminded everyone how merciless the world of tennis can be. What exactly happened out there on that sun-scorched court to bring down such a force? And how does this shocking upset tie into an even larger story of emerging superstars, dramatic showdowns, and unwavering willpower? In this episode, we will journey through every twist and turn of this astonishing day at the joint tennis citadel known as the United States Open, peeling back the layers of competition to find out which secrets, rivalries, and personal motivations shaped one of the most enthralling matches of the year. Our investigation will touch on the fierce battle that ended Swiatek's run in the fourth round, some explosive encounters that left fans gasping for air inside Arthur Ashe Stadium, and the unexpectedly confident surge of youthful talents ready to seize the global tennis spotlight. We will break down how the newly emboldened Jelena Ostapenko soared to a mesmerizing victory, analyze the unstoppable brilliance of Novak Djokovic's continuing campaign for yet another crown, and examine the riveting duels among other formidable contenders such as Coco Gauff, Caroline Wozniacki, Karolina Muchova, Sorana Cirstea, Frances Tiafoe, and Ben Shelton. We are about to uncover the motivations and emotions fueling these players as they chase the ultimate glory under the intense lights of New York City. So, hold tight, because this ride will lead us through moments of triumph, heartbreak, and renewed hope. And if at any point you find yourself reliving the excitement of those crucial points, do not hesitate to show your support. Give a friendly thumbs up, or consider sharing this story with fellow sports enthusiasts. Now, brace yourself for the starting gates of our narrative. Imagine walking into Arthur Ashe Stadium with close to 20,000 spectators roaring in anticipation, waiting to see if Iga Swiatek would deliver another commanding performance. After all, let us not forget that she had been on a blistering run, barely dropping a set in the earliest rounds of the competition, and even tossing out a pair of ominous bagels to let her opponents know she was not messing around. With such momentum at her back, it was no wonder spectators felt certain she would storm her way into the quarterfinals uncontested. Indeed, all the signs hinted at a standard, straightforward victory when she found herself up against the 20th seed, Jelena Ostapenko, a player known for fierce aggression but occasionally plagued by inconsistency. In the eyes of many, the first seed's route toward either defending or at least pressing forward with her campaign seemed almost guaranteed. But tennis, as we know, thrives on the unpredictable. And boy, was this day about to deliver. Swiatek began with the cool and methodical poise we have come to expect from her. She took command of the rallies, staying steady in extended baseline exchanges. Her usually impenetrable serve gave her a comfortable cushion, and she even overcame a minor hiccup in the first set as she shrugged off a sudden early break of serve from Ostapenko. There was an almost tangible sense of calm in Swiatek's box, with her supporters wearing confident smiles, pleased to see their champion recover quickly from that blip. One might have mistaken this opening chapter for another routine day in the office, culminating in a 6-3 first set close. The scoreboard might have read 6-3, but in tennis terms, it felt like Swiatek was further ahead psychologically. But here is where the story tilts on its axis. Set 2 began, and almost immediately, something akin to a thunderclap struck the stadium. Suddenly, the fired-up Latvian unleashed the unstoppable version of herself that had allowed her to reign supreme as a French Open champion in the year 2017. She hammered ground strokes to the corners, refused to shy away from bold returns, and puffed up her chest after every scorching winner. The crowd, initially stunned, began to rally behind the underdog, hoping to see a genuine contest unfold before their eyes. That she was able to break Swiatek's serve early in the second set sent a message. It was going to be a proper fight. Ostapenko's revival cast a palpable tension over the match. Each point felt like a tug of war between the reigning champion's measured consistency and the Latvian's nuclear firepower. As Ostapenko consolidated a lead in the second set, Swiatek looked momentarily bewildered, as though searching for the comforting rhythm that had deserted her. She showed glimpses of brilliance, flicking forehands and backhands that grazed lines, but the unstoppable nature of Ostapenko's offensive blasts unnerved her. Before long, the second set concluded with a 6-3 margin in Ostapenko's favor, pushing this enthralling encounter into a decisive third set. And would that final set live up to the building tension? Absolutely. Ostapenko roared to a 5-0 lead in the blink of an eye, looking at times like she was inside some unstoppable zone, positioning every shot at merciless angles. Swiatek did manage to break Ostapenko's serve in the sixth game to reduce the deficit to 5-1, but that fact hardly slowed Ostapenko's momentum. When the decisive moment came, when Swiatek was serving to stay alive, Ostapenko unleashed yet another trademark rocket of a forehand winner to seal her spot in the quarterfinals. For the first time in her career, she had reached the quarterfinal stage in New York, and the roar of the crowd was a clear indication of how they appreciated a warrior who refused to fold under pressure. Let us linger for a moment on the significance of that conclusion. Swiatek, so dominant for much of the season, and wearing the aura of a defending champion with all the necessary skill, had suddenly been startled by a single unstoppable performance that changed the entire championship narrative. While no one match can define a champion's identity, this loss revealed how even the greatest can find themselves temporarily outmaneuvered by an opponent flaunting equal measures of ambition and skill. Ostapenko's exhilarating triumph stands not just as a testament to her own capability, but also as a romantic reminder that tennis is ever-changing, thriving on those shocking upsets that keep us on our toes. Now, if you relish the thrill of these sudden shifts in fortune and the raw emotional roller coaster of top-tier tennis, consider taking a second to follow along for more in-depth looks at the stories, faces, and unstoppable drives shaping the sport today. Indeed, there is hardly a better time to immerse yourself in these unpredictable moments. Continuing our narrative, Ostapenko now prepares for a quarterfinal face-off against home favorite Coco Gauff. That match affirms how the United States Open can become a stage for personal redemption arcs, generational showdowns, and national pride. Gauff, for her part, had just outlasted the returning Caroline Wozniacki in a dramatic three-setter, finishing with a 6-3, 3-6, 6-1 line that showcased Gauff's capacity for resilience. Observers around the globe marveled at Wozniacki's valiant efforts, especially considering her comeback from retirement and the unwavering grit that once made her a world number one. Even though the Danish star was outmaneuvered in the deciding set, it was hardly a walk in the park for Gauff, who had to rely on pure mental fortitude to dig herself out of a hole after immediately being broken in that third set. The American teen's ability to flip the script and blast through her next 6 games drew unbridled cheers from the stands, solidifying her status as a genuine contender for the big prize. Over on another portion of the women's draw, Sorana Cîrstea further shattered expectations by knocking out Belinda Bencic in straight sets, 6-3 and 6-3. This triumph followed Cîrstea's earlier success against Elena Rybakina, a statement victory that reverberated among fans who had not previously pegged her as a deep-run candidate. However, this formidable performance has propelled the Romanian to her first Grand Slam quarterfinal appearance since the year 2009, a gap of well over a decade that must feel like a distant memory to the patient competitor. Next, she is set to collide with Karolina Muchova, a player known for her strategic variety and deft shot selection, after the Czech overcame China's Wang Xinyu in a grueling 3-set tussle, taking it 6-3, 5-7, 6-1. That matchup alone hints at yet another chapter of drama, given how both players are discovering that sweet mixture of confidence and surging form at just the right time. Turning our lens to the men's side of the bracket, we find Novak Djokovic once again proving why, for many, he remains the unstoppable standard in the sport. Entering the 4th round, he squared off against Borna Gojo, a Croatian qualifier whose improbable rise through the drawing board had captured some hearts in the stands. Yet Djokovic, displaying his trademark steady baseline acquisitions and unflappable composure, dictated the tone and marched away with a 6-2, 7-5, 6-4 victory. This result brought him level with Roger Federer in the record books for the highest number of hard-court Grand Slam 4th-round victories, a testament to Djokovic's all-time greatness and unwavering hunger for more success on the biggest stages. Even a slight hiccup in the second set, where Gojo caught Djokovic napping momentarily with an early break, could not prevent the Serbian from dominating the scoreboard in the end. Meanwhile, the incandescent American crowd found cause for celebration as 3 of their own soared into the men's singles quarterfinals. Foremost among them, Taylor Fritz handled the spirited Dominic Stricker in 3 sets, winning 7-6, 2, 6-4, 6-4. Fritz's calm approach under pressure and balanced shot-making ensured there were no significant slip-ups or lost momentum, thereby securing a coveted date opposite Djokovic in the next round. That upcoming clash stands as an embodiment of the new generation seeking to take on a timeless champion. Next, Frances Tiafoe put on a scintillating display of self-belief against Rinky Hijikata, cruising to victory by 6-4, 6-1, 6-4. Tiafoe's unstoppable forehand, combined with his willingness to entertain the crowds with fearless net rushes, once again underlined why he has emerged as one of the sport's most charismatic draws. The crowd roared, recalling how Tiafoe had previously made deep runs here in New York, fueling hype of whether he can push through to a sentimental finish. And if that was not enough, Tiafoe's next matchup will be an all-American showdown against the electrifying Ben Shelton. In the final piece of that patriotic trifecta, Shelton overcame compatriot Tommy Paul in a 4-set encounter, finishing with a line of 6-4, 6-3, 4-6, 6-4. That match turned into a spectacle of sizzling serves, big hitting, and unrelenting passion. Shelton, who at just 20 years of age is determined to seize the spotlight, laid down the gauntlet that he is capable of beating seasoned adversaries if he can maintain consistency and composure through longer rallies. Now, to have a face-off between Tiafoe and Shelton funnels excitement among tennis devotees looking for an affirmation that the future of men's tennis in the United States remains in safe hands. Revisiting our main storyline, let us reflect on what ties all these narratives together. It is the spirit of reinvention. We see Ostapenko, once tagged as a one-time Roland Garros champion, resurging in a major way on the American hard courts. We see Gauff, a rising star who is refining every aspect of her game to stamp her authority on the women's tour. We see Djokovic, far from relinquishing his hold on the sport, pushing onward with an unquenchable thirst for more accolades. We see Tiafoe, Shelton, and Fritz fueling a reinvigorated wave of American tennis. We see older names like Caroline Wozniacki, proving that motherhood and time away do not automatically equate to a permanent exit from greatness, even if she did not clinch a quarterfinal berth this time. Part of the addictive fascination with tennis is witnessing how every champion, every underdog, and every unproven youngster is called upon to deliver their best on the grandest stage. Any wavering focus, and the dream is obliterated in a mere handful of games. Just imagine the psychological weight on Iga Swiatek, still so young, yet burdened with the status of a world #1 defending champion. And contrast that with the liberation Jelena Ostapenko might have felt, playing with nothing to lose and everything to gain. That interplay of tension and ambition, pressure and adrenaline, is what turns a match into a drama, capturing hearts of viewers who live vicariously through every exhilarating rally. If you have found yourself enthralled by this mix of heartbreak and jubilation, remember to tap that subscribe button or follow our updates so that you will be fully in the loop as these athletes continue forging their legacies. You do not want to miss out on the next moment of madness when a single cross-court bullet forehand shifts the balance of power in a way nobody saw coming. As the dust of this Day 7 extravaganza settles, fans can take a deep breath and muse on the overarching significance of these developments. Has the dethroning of Swiatek left a genuine power vacuum that other hungry players will fight tooth and nail to fill? Will Ostapenko translate this surge of confidence into consistent performances in the coming rounds? Or will Gauff's unwavering self-belief stop her short of that next milestone? On the men's side, do we see Djokovic forging a path to another piece of history? Or is someone like Fritz, Tiafoe, or Shelton about to pen a brand new story of American tennis glory on home turf? Digging into every match, every set, and every memory from Day 7 suggests we are in the midst of a roller coaster that is far from nearing a halt. And so, we stand on a precipice, anticipating what the quarterfinal rounds have in store as the United States Open marches confidently into its second week. The shakeups have already arrived, as they so often do in top-tier sporting events. But the deeper question remains: who will keep pushing until they are the one lifting that trophy in front of an ocean of cameras and a celebratory crowd at Arthur Ashe Stadium? The unpredictability is precisely the point, fueling the competitive fire within each athlete who steps onto that court, and captivating the imaginations of viewers across the globe. The sense of possibility, the hunger for stardom, and the relentless drive to etch one's name into the canon of tennis legends will intensify in the days ahead. Whether you are a supporter of the established champions aiming to further cement their legacies, or you find yourself cheering for the underdogs desperate to ascend, you must concede that few events can match the swirling drama of the United States Open. It is a swirling parade of skill, power, and pure psychology, compressed into shining 2-week intervals that can define or reshape an athlete's career. Day 7 merely added a few more pages to this thickening storybook of ambition. It was a day when a mighty champion's steadiness faltered, a day when an overlooked contender soared, and a day when fresh heroes in the men's draw carried forth their American dream under the bright lights of New York. So, as you step away from this detailed retelling, I want you to keep that image of Ostapenko's untamed forehand ablaze in your mind. Recall Gauff's triumphant surge. Remember Swiatek's valiant attempt to hold on to her US Open crown, and feel the sparks of possibility swirling around Djokovic and all the other relentless contenders. This is what tennis fans live for, a fusion of artful chaos, graceful athleticism, and nerve-wracking unpredictability. None of us truly know how the rest of this Grand Slam will unfold, and that electric question mark is exactly what keeps us glued to each new point. As the players return to the practice courts and the fans fill the seats, the spirit of discovery lingers over every racket swing and every call from the umpire's chair. The final champion has yet to be determined, and the tension in New York City remains thick enough to slice through with a well-executed backhand volley. These final rounds promise the biggest payoffs, the highest stakes, and the greatest sense of triumph when the dust eventually settles. For now, we say farewell to Day 7, but we do so with an exhilaration that only tennis at this level can evoke. The unstoppable force of competition is still swirling, alliances of fans still form around new heroes, and the unpredictability that saw Swiatek dethroned can strike again at any moment. So keep your eyes locked on that net, because every single serve could herald the next wave of drama. The game is wide open, the stage belongs to the bold, and the pursuit of that trophy intensifies with each passing day. Having witnessed the downfall of a reigning champion, a star's triumphant return, and the promise of yet another chapter of American tennis, we can only wonder what tomorrow has in store when these astonishing athletes step back into the spotlight with everything on the line.